So we have set up our classes in Google Classroom. You may have more than this. I know for my teaching load, I'll have about 16 of them on my screen once I'm done. But for the purposes of this demonstration, we only need one class to work with. And so that's our ComTech 7-2 class. So I'm going to add my first assignment into it. I'm going to open the class. Now I could take the tour, but the purpose of these video tutorials is to actually give you the tour. So Google, as always, has made our interface really simple. So I'm going to come down here to the bottom right hand corner, and when I hover over that plus, I have a choice to reuse a post. That would be from another class or from a previous year's class if I've used Google Classroom for more than 1 year. I've got the choice to create a question so I can poll my students. I could create an assignment, or I can create an announcement. An announcement doesn't require anything of students. It's just an informational thing. There's nothing for them to click or submit. So I'm going to create my first assignment. And because this is our first time through, it does give us a little tutorial. So your first time through Google Classroom is going to do this for you. So to get started, let's add a short title and optional description. So I'm going to give them an assignment where I want a photograph, an animal, or a plant. So I just want students to take a photograph and submit it to me, just mostly to practice using the interface of Google Classroom. I'm going to choose next. I can set my deadline when it's going to be due. So let's make it tomorrow. That works. I can change that at any point in time. So if an assignment is taking a little longer than maybe I had anticipated when I first gave it as an assignment, I can adjust that on the fly as we go. We can change the due date. It's not carved in stone. Then I can add resources. So if I wanted to attach an example or some instructions or the rubric, anything like that, I can attach. We're not going to this time. We will do another tutorial where we will do that. For today, we're not going to do that. Then I can post it to multiple classes. So for me, I teach ComTech, as I've mentioned, and I have 7 classes of grade 7. So when I post an assignment, I can type it up one time, and then I can select which classes I want it to post to. I could select just the other one, or if the list is lengthy, I can check off which classes I want to have this assignment given to. So that gives me a lot of flexibility as a teacher to save a little bit of time here and there, but at the same time keep things really manageable for the number of courses that I teach in a school year. So I'm going to, for today, we're just going to assign this to ComTech 7-2, and I'm going to just click Got It. I can give some quick instructions here. So use either a class camera or your smartphone to take a photo of a plant or an animal and submit it for grading to this assignment. And I'll put in brackets, maybe this is for practice with handing in work on Google Classroom. That way students know this isn't really a big deal. I'll give them a couple marks for it, but it's not going to be a big deal. And I'm going to click the Assign button, and generally I have found with Google Classroom I have to click it a second time. Now, admittedly, I'm generally using Safari as my browser. I would recommend using Google Chrome when you're working in Google Classroom. So here's my assignment, photograph an animal or plant. And now as a teacher, it shows me it's due tomorrow. I have 0 of them done and 29 not done. And if I click on these, when I click on 29 not done, it shows me the details. And so again, we've got our tour going on. Each assignment has a page like this. You can see who has submitted, and we can download a spreadsheet of the grades. So I'm just going to hit Got It. It shows me right now none of my students have done it, which makes sense. I just assigned it. So I'm going to go do a little student work. I'll be back in a while to show you what it looks like after a few students have done it. Let's take a look at this now from the perspective of a student. You have entered an assignment. Now, as a student, I would like to view the assignment, complete the assignment, and submit it. So let's log on here as Dana, who is one of the students we added. They're all, of course, artificial names. So Dana is going to log on. And she's remembered the password that she changed. Now, when she comes in, she's told a couple things. The first time any of your students come in after they've registered, they are going to get a little bit of a tutorial as well, and we'll go over this. It tells her, first of all, there's a class folder in Drive. So when she goes into her Google Drive, there is now a folder in there called Classroom that's going to store everything that she submits to Google Classroom. Just like you have a folder called Classroom, so do all of your students. So your materials for each class are stored in Google Drive. Got it. All right, so we have showing here, due tomorrow, a photograph of an animal or plant. So she's going to go into the class and we're going to get another little tour here. Now it tells her that she can post questions to the class or comment on posts from the teachers and classmates. This is very important in a distributed learning environment, but it can also cause problems depending on the age of the student, the maturity of the students, the particular group you've got. So you're going to want to do a little discussion about digital citizenship and what is appropriate to post there and what is exactly the purpose of this space. As a teacher, you can disable it, but it's probably a better choice to have a really good conversation about digital citizenship and participating in online environments. So it's going to give your student a little tour. They can navigate between classes. So if more than one teacher is utilizing Google Classroom, they can navigate up there and we say, got it. So Dana would like to hand in the photo. She's taken a picture of some flowers in her grandmother's yard. She's ready to hand it in. So right now it says it's not done, due tomorrow. All she needs to do is click on open, and it's going to bring her to the screen where she can hand in assignments. Now it does give her a little piece of info. This is good to know. You don't need to attach work to an assignment. You can mark it as done. Once in a while, you give your kids an assignment that doesn't require them to actually submit anything to you, but they can mark it as done so that it shows up as completed. Wonderful for your tracking. And we'll talk about that in another video, but do know that they don't necessarily have to attach something to mark an assignment as done. In this case, we want to attach something. We want to attach that photograph. So we're going to click add. We've got three choices. Very simple. She could add something from Google Drive. She could add a link, or she could add a file. In this instance, we're going to add a file. We're going to select files from the computer. We're going to the desktop where she's got that photo of the lilies that she took, and we're going to upload it. We'll give it a second to process the uploading. It's going to give us the bar that indicates how much time is needed. Bigger files such as video are going to need a little bit longer. Now, it makes mention to her that on this page you can view or add files to your assignment before turning it in. So she could add a second file. If she had 2 photos to submit, she could submit 2 photos here. That's not a problem. So it shows her where to do that. Add to add another file, or create to create a new one. And then when she's all done, we're going to click turn in. Well, all we needed to do was turn in one photo for this assignment. So we're going to click on turn in. It tells her what exactly she's turning in, and we click that turn in button. Now, we have a new button here called Unsubmit. It's really important that kids understand that that Unsubmit button is there. Once they've handed in an assignment, it's not end game. That's not your final answer. You can unsubmit it and make changes if you realize you wanted to edit something or you forgot something. The student still has control. Submitting something to the teacher does not mean it's gone. It's not like the old days where the teacher takes a box full of papers home and the student realizes that they forgot to do their concluding paragraph. Well, you could unsubmit and quickly add in a concluding paragraph and resubmit. But in this case, Dana has submitted her photo, and if we go back to the main screen now, what she sees is for assignment number 1, photograph an animal or plant. We've got a green check mark there. It's done. She's good to go. It says over here, woohoo, no work due soon. This actually integrates with her Google Calendar. We'll get to that in another tutorial as well. Google Classroom, simply put, it's awesome. We will finish up today's tutorial just by checking in now with our assignment. So I'm going to go into Context 7-2, and I see a change now here in that I have 7 done and 22 not done. So if I click on 7 done, it shows me who has completed the assignment, and it shows me a quick little preview of what the assignment looks like. And we'll look at a number of different types of assignments over the next few days. We see Ruben Richards has left a little comment about his, and so it says, this photo was taken in my grandma's backyard. So Ruben's given us a little bit of detail. We can also see 22 not done. We can see who has yet to complete the assignment. So over here, these students I could commence grading at any time. Because it's just a little assignment, I'm going to make it out of 10 points. And it'll tell me, are you sure you want to update the point value? Students who've already received grades will be notified. I try to set the point value before I commence grading. So I'm going to update that. And I can start to take a look now at each one of the ones that are done, and I can start issuing grades. So it's a real slick way to know who's where in terms of their assignment completion. That's as far as we're going to go today.